All right, my dear student, let's get to it. So we need this user model to be created. Well, not this user model, this method inside the user model. So let's go to our user model. Let's take this auto load out of here. We don't need it anymore. And let's go to our user models folder, and the user model class right here. All right, so right below this stuff that we could, if we wanted to, just comment out. I'm gonna do that right now because we're not using any of them right now. You don't have to, but I'm just doing it. All right, commenting all this out. All right, perfect. All right, so let's create this. Oops. Login user method. All right, so the first thing is that we are going to be sending this information to the database, right? But first we need to receive it right here, username and then password. All right, so once we have this, then we can check the database. All right, so we can say this db where, and we can use this where statement here. All right, and we could use associative array format. All right, which would be something like this, and then the username, and then comma, and do the rest. But I'm going to show you a different way, just because I like to do it differently all the time, so that way you can keep learning different things. Simple, just to show you that you can do it like this, because CodeIgniter is pretty awesome, right? Username, oops, username, there we go. And then we could, if we wanted to, look at this, do it again and do another where statement. Pretty cool stuff, right? Make sure this is password here. Boom, beautiful. And then we could say, you know what, I want you now to give me everything in users where those conditions are true above, like this. Beautiful, right? All right, so now let's actually assign a result to this, because we're gonna get a result, right? So if this result is good to go, then we can do one thing. If it's not, we can do another thing. So let's check for it. Let's check to see if the result is true by maybe using num rows. So we have some rows in the database. That means, and we do this by equaling 1, that means that we have a user, right? But if we don't have a user. So we do else. And right now we can just return false. There we go. There we go. Right? But if we get something back, right? Why don't we just return the ID? So that we can say return result, and I'll show you this in a minute. And we can return a row, and we can say we want to return the row 0, because the row 0 will be the first column. All right, and we want to return the ID from it. Look at that, beautiful. All right, so now this function, this method login user, will return the ID of that user if we find something, but we need to make sure we correct that. Num rows, save. All right, so we find a record that has these two conditions there. It has that username that we're typing in and that password. Then we're gonna return the ID. If not, we just return false. All right, so we're gonna leave this lecture here because I want you to just copy this down. Make sure that you are writing everything with me. Don't be lazy and not write things down, because you will learn a lot more like this by writing stuff down. All right, on the next lecture we'll jump into the controllers and we'll finish this up. All right, thank you so much, and see you in the next lecture.